everyone. My name is Verónica Moreno. Today, I'm going to be talking about 3 steps you can follow to awaken your inner power the feminine way. Why am I going to talk about inner power? Because I think it's so relevant, especially in the times we're living in right now, with so many things going on, so much uncertainty. It's so important that we stay connected with ourselves and that we listen to our inner power and to our inner wisdom more than ever. And trust me, it's always there. It's always there, available for us. It's just that sometimes we forget that it's there, or we forget how to tune into it. And because there are so many distractions, and that's not helpful. But that's why I'm going to share some steps with you, some simple to follow steps. And why the feminine way? Well, a part of this talk is going to be for both men and women, but there's going to be a part that is going to be specifically for women, because I think because of the way everything related to the feminine has been suppressed, repressed, and even ridiculed sometimes, I think we're really struggling collectively to embrace our femininity and to see it as something beautiful, as the way it is. And sometimes we see it as a burden, and we see our female cycle as something that it's terrible, that causes us so much trouble, and sometimes we don't even understand it, and we get so frustrated, and it shouldn't be that way. We should actually thrive with it instead of fighting it. So I'm going to be giving some specific tips about it, because as women, we're never going to be truly fulfilled and empowered and happy until we understand and fully embrace and own what we are, until we embrace and thrive with our femininity. So the first step to awaken our inner power is doing a mindset detox. And that sounds like a diet, and it is kind of a mental diet. I want you to think about your mindset, about your mind, your thoughts, like you would think about your body. So the food you put in your body, it's going to affect how it functions. So if you only eat junk food, processed food, sugar, if you drink a lot, if you smoke a lot, your body is not going to function properly. So it's going to start getting sick. It's going to start feeling tired. It's not going to work well. And it's the same with the mind. And we need to be very, very aware of the inputs of what we feed our mind with, because what we give is going to affect, is going to have a very big impact in our mindset, in our emotional step. So one of the things I always recommend my clients, and I know it can sound difficult to do at the beginning, but it's so worth it. And it's actually not that hard, and you're going to love it if you try, is to assess what are you feeding your mind with, what are the inputs. And I'm talking especially about social media, phones, the news, because everything is so fear-based and so anger-based. So that's going to have a very negative impact on how we feel, on how we get on with our day. So try to assess in a normal day how many times you check your phone. My phone broke a few months ago when lockdown started, and I thought, oh my God, how am I going to live without a phone? Well, it turns out that you can survive without a phone, and actually is one of the best things that ever happened to me, because only when I stopped using it, I realized how addicted I was to it. I was just checking constantly. Even I knew my phone was broken, but I kept checking, going to my phone unconsciously with like an impulse to go check notifications, stimuli. Did anyone like my post? Did anyone message me? So I'm not saying you have to quit your phone or quit Facebook or whatever, but use it wisely and consciously. Be aware of how many times you check it, what people you interact with, the people you follow, the news you see, the sources of information you have. Is that in your highest interest? Is that serving you? Is that helping you? How does that make you feel? So do the assessment and start taking baby steps. Maybe reduce the time or the amount of times you go every day, you check every day. Be aware of the people you interact with, because we all have this negative, draining colleagues or friends or people we know that they keep draining our energy and make us feel so tired and so negative at the end, and you feel like, oh my God, now what? So just be aware, be conscious of what you of what the inputs, and take baby steps, and you're going to see that you're going to feel much better once you remove all that clutter, all those unnecessary thoughts that are not serving us. So replace that with 10 minutes a day of meditation, or 10 minutes, an hour, as long as you can do, depending on how much time you have. But replace that with something that is going to declutter your thoughts and is going to help you feel much better. Because when we sit in stillness and we actually remove all those thoughts and the mind talking, the chatting, the stimuli, is when we can start listening to our intuition, to our inner power, to who we truly are. And that's so important to do right now. So second step, it's transform the limiting beliefs into self-empowering messages. We all have limiting beliefs. We all have these inner voices, or this inner voice, or these inner characters inside ourselves. We all have an inner critic. We all have that annoying voice that sounds like, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you don't deserve that, never mind, don't bother, that's a silly idea, forget it. We all have those messages, and it's important that we don't judge them, because it's part of ourselves, and at the end of the day, it's a protective part of ourselves, because those messages are only trying to protect us from being hurt, being disappointed, from failing, from going through a difficult situation. But the problem is that sometimes they get very, very loud and limiting. They can be very limiting, because to prevent us from failing or from suffering, we miss on so many things in our lives. So I would recommend you to, anytime you have one of these messages, and again, being aware, awareness is the first step, and is the most important step, because once you understand, once you listen to it and you think, okay, I'm aware that I'm having this negative thought, that I'm having this negative pattern, that I'm having this critical voice in here. If we try to repress it, then it's counterproductive, because it's going to be working at an unconscious level. So it's even worse. Acknowledge it, be aware of it, and as soon as you're aware of it, you can gain power over it. So do some journaling about it, to try to understand where it comes from. Why am I having this thought? Where did I learn this? Who used to say that? How did I learn, or how did I decide that this was the best option for me, or the best thing for me to do? And do some journaling about it, because it's going to help you get to know yourself better. And again, this is part of removing the programming we've had from years of being at school, listening to the TV, society, our family, our friends, our partners, etc., etc. We keep installing these programs, and we keep adding these layers to so people like us, so people love us. And it's all about removing those layers, the ones that are not serving us, the ones that are not ours, and getting to the core of who we truly are, and our values, and what we want to do, and to live the life we truly want to live. So one thing that I would suggest you do, every time you see, or every time you notice these negative thoughts, this self or this critical thoughts, or this voice, write down those messages, cross them over, and rephrase it in a positive way. So if the self message is you don't deserve this, you don't deserve to be in a healthy relationship, rephrase it and say, I deserve to have a nurturing, caring, loving partner. And write it down, read it out loud every day. Write post-its, put post-its over, I don't know, on your desk, on your laptop, on the wall, wherever. Set the background picture on your phone, something that reminds you your new belief, until these new self-empowering messages become part of yourself, and you no longer have to think about it, because they're going to be, you're going to read them so many times, you're going to say them out loud so many times, they're going to become part of your of your belief system. So try that, because it's really, really, really empowering. And again, just being aware of it gives you the sense of gives you a sense of control and of power over it, because at the end of the day, you are not those messages. You are much more than that. That's just a little part of you that is there to protect you, and it can get a bit annoying and a bit limiting, but you are much more than that, and you have control over it. It's just about being aware and having a bit of willpower to say, no, this is not true. This is not true. And the third step I wanted to talk about is about using the female cycle as a tool to empowerment. And this might sound crazy, because I'm sure many women say, yeah, but my period hurts so much. I have terrible PMS. I really hate this. There are 1 or 2 weeks in the month where I can't function, where I'm so irritable. I get it. I totally get it. The problem is that we don't have the proper knowledge. And I used to fight my femininity. I used to think, oh my God, we are so unlucky, you know? Okay, I'm a woman. This is what I have to deal with. I have to deal with pain. I have to deal with PMS. I have to deal with all these type of things. And in reality, this is not how it should be. This is not how it should be. We are told that this is normal, but this is not normal. This is not how it should be. And actually, PMS, pain, and all these symptoms appear is the way our body has to tell us, you're fighting your own nature. You're fighting your cyclical nature. You're going against who you are. You're going against the nature of your body, against the nature of how your body works. So when I started learning about it, and when I started studying about it, I realized that not many people were talking about the cycle. And it was mainly, well, if you have any problems, you can just take the pill forever until you decide to get pregnant, and that's it. And when I was learning more about it, I realized that actually I don't have time to go all the details to share everything I would like to share. But just as a general idea, we don't have the same energy. We don't have the same energy levels. We don't have the same mood. Our body changes with our cycle. So we might feel very different when we are around our period than when we are in our ovulation, around ovulation days, for example, or the days around ovulation day. The energies are very different, very, very different between your period and ovulation. And if you don't have a period, you can also link your energy, or assess your energy in terms of the moon cycle, because the moon cycle and the female cycle are linked or related to each other, and the energy in both cycles match. Yeah, again, so between period and ovulation, or between new moon and full moon, you will notice that our energy rises, and you feel optimistic, and you feel like you can do a lot of work and do a lot of things, and very happy. And then suddenly another week in the cycle, you're like, oh, but why do I feel so depressed today? Why do I feel so bad today? What changed? Am I going bipolar? Am I just losing it? Am I just going crazy? No, we have very different energies throughout the cycle. And when we understand this, it doesn't only stop being a burden or something negative. It becomes a tool that we can use to plan our life around it. So for example, if I have to plan, I don't know, if I'm going to deliver an in-person event or something that requires a lot of energy from me, I wouldn't plan it if I know it's going to be around my period days, because I know I'm going to be more tired. I know I'm going to be more like feeling quiet. That's the time that I use to connect with my intuition, to meditate pretty much all day, to get insights, to get clarity. I would definitely not choose those days. I know that life gets in the way, and it's not always possible to plan your life around certain days. But I'm just saying that when you are aware of this, maybe next time you feel like your energy is very low, or your inner critic is very loud, and it's the days before your period, for example, you can gain awareness and think, okay, I knew that this would be more common. I know that this is more likely to happen. So it doesn't mean that I'm going crazy. It just means that I can use this for something different. I can use this energy instead of to criticize myself or to feel very bad. I can use this time to assess what's going on in my life and to be critical, but in a positive way. What do I need to review? What do I need to change? What is no longer serving me? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to start doing more of in the coming cycle? So when I learned about it, when I discovered this, it was a game changer for me, because it helped me first of all understand how my body works without seeing it as something negative. But truly, like, if you have certain skills that are heightened in certain days of the month or of your cycle, you can make the most of it, because you know when you're going to be more likely to be more optimistic, or to be more intuitive, or more critical, or have better energy to create, to make content, to smash it at work, to be at meetings, you know. So having this knowledge it's amazing, and it's definitely a life changer. And this is related to inner power, because again, it's only when we embrace our femininity and we see it as the beautiful thing it is, not only until we change the attitude and we make that change towards thinking, oh my god, this is something to embrace and not to hate and not to fight, that we will be truly empowered and fulfilled. Because otherwise we're going to fighting against our own nature. It's like swimming against the current. We can make our life 10 times more complicated or 10 times easier, and when we flow with it, it's so much better in terms of optimizing your performance, your well-being, how you feel, how successful you are, how fulfilled you feel, feeling more joyful. So yeah, again, the benefits are have no limit. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you all for watching. Thank you if you were watching live or if you're watching the replay. And I just wanted to say that if you're interested in the topics I discussed, I have lots of free resources and articles in my website. So please check it out. It's in the link in this video. And I'm running a workshop, an online workshop on the 11th of October around this topic. So if you liked it, please join me. I would love to have you there. Bye.